2025, someone by the name of Rachel Chang. She wrote an article called "I've Chased Waterfalls Around the World, but these twin falls in the Caribbean stunned me." And let me tell you an excerpt from the article. This one I absolutely love. It says, and I quote, "The two waterfalls appeared simultaneously, almost as if they had choreographed their appearance." You like that, right? It sounds good. It continues, "Positioned on the stage back to back. The taller 125-foot one sat on the left and is referred to as the mother, while the 75-foot smaller but stronger one on the right is referred to as the father." You know what she's talking about? Do you know what she's talking about? She's talking about Trafalgar Falls. She wrote about the Trafalgar Falls, the Twin Waterfalls, you know. Have you been there? Are you going? Yeah, you're going soon? Yes, I hope so. Good morning to you and welcome to Talking Tourism for yet another program right here. My name is Monel Alexis, and as per usual, it is my pleasure to be your host. This morning, we're not chasing waterfalls, we're chasing turtles. And we're going to be chasing some boats next week. Because today we're talking about an event called Traditor, and we're talking about turtle conservation down in the south. And in studio with me, I have Mr. Simon George and Miss Ayodele Andrew of the Discover Dominica Authority here to present on these two topics. If you're now tuning in, welcome. This is Talking Tourism, a product of the Ministry of Tourism and the Discover Dominica Authority. We're going to jump straight into the conversation with Mr. George. Good morning to you, Simon. George, how are you doing?
Good morning, Monel. It's a pleasure to be here with you in studios to talk sea turtles, sea turtle tourism.
And it's a pleasure to have you too. And I didn't know that you play an instrument and you walked with it today. So Simon, I'm going to put you on the spot at some point before the show ends so you can serenade the audience with your amazing talent. Okay? Yes?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no problem. But before that, let's talk about your story. What inspired your interest in turtle conservation?
It all started with a quotation from Pope Benedict it was, who said, "If you want to cultivate peace, protect creation." That's what really sparked me.
I like that.
Yeah.
If you want to cultivate peace,
Protect creation.
protect creation. Beautiful quote.
Yeah. And to strengthen that, Prime Minister Skerrit charged us and said he wanted to make Dominica the first climate resilient country in the world. I really thought that was a high standard to set. I wanted to be a part of that. But I didn't know how to do that until Dr. Karen Eckhart of Wildcast said to me, "Turtles, Simon, go for the turtles." So here I am.
And was there any specific moment or experience that led you to start working? Apart from, I know you mentioned earlier the Prime Minister and that, but as a child growing up, was there anything within you, any love, affiliation with turtles?
No, just nature. I'm an agronomist by profession. Soils was really my
You're a what? What's the word?
agronomy.
Agronomy.
Yeah.
Agronomist.
Yeah. Soils was really my specialty and still is. So as a farmer. But when I came back here after graduating from Virginia Tech, there was the Rusty Sea Turtle program going on at Rosalie, and that really attracted me just to be in a scientific community. So I would volunteer and just monitor what was going on. So that's where it started. Just being a part, as I said, as a volunteer off and on with the Rusty program at Rosalie.
Okay, can you walk us through what your turtle conservation work involves on a day-to-day basis?
Well, the program, what we call Net Rosalie, Sea Turtle and Horse, is a sea turtle conservation and community tourism program. The Sea Turtle Conservation Program has two components. um, beach patrol, and hatchery operations for sea turtle eggs. Now, we operate that program as part of a DOMSETCO program, the Dominica Sea Turtle Conservation Organization that coordinates sea turtle conservation work island-wide. And they really are mainly responsible for our night patrol operations. They provide the equipment, they pay us a little stipend, we collect data, but our main function really as part of the sea turtle conservation effort is one, to protect the adult turtles that visit the beach every year to lay eggs. Two, to ensure that the eggs that the turtles lay can develop and produce hatchlings. And three, to ensure that the hatchlings survive and can leave the beach and enter the ocean. So that's the three things, main responsibilities that we have. So like I said, to accomplish that task, we operate the night patrol and we operate the hatchery.
How many of you are on patrol at night?
Well, we operate as a team of 3, but we operate 2 patrollers a night. We've been doing this, well, for me, since 2008.
Oh, wow.
And we operate during the nesting season that runs from March all the way through October, and we run the beach every night, beginning at 8 p.m. and until 5 o'clock in the morning.
So you all camp out?
Yeah. The good thing is, I mean, over the years, the experiences vary, but the nice thing about it is we get to share it. We have visitors, local and overseas, that sometimes camp with us.
Oh, okay.
And we have guests from the hotel and people, that we share the experience with when we have a turtle nesting at night. Yeah.
Okay, so that makes for a wonderful experience.
Sure.
And a great and interesting tourism product or offering at that.
Mm-hmm.
So we can offer camping for turtle for turtle hatching or something of that sort. But beautiful. Let's talk about the hatching process.
Mm-hmm.
What's the typical hatching process like, and how do you ensure the hatchlings make it safely to the sea?
Okay, we have 3 species of endangered turtles that visit beaches in Dominica. Fortunately for us, all 3 come to Rosalie.
Nice.
But our challenge with the eggs and the hatchling really is based with the giant leatherbacks. Those animals weigh anywhere between 800 and 1,400 or 500 pounds. So they don't pull them, they have to pull themselves up the beach with their front flippers and push that heavy body with their rear flippers. So you can't blame the poor lady if she doesn't pull and push herself too far up the beach.
Mm-mm.
The problem with that is the eggs have to survive 60 days incubation period for the hatchlings to emerge. And if you know Atlantic oceans, we run the risk of the ocean either, 1, eroding the sand and washing the eggs away, or 2, having the water table rise and get to the eggs buried 70 centimeters below the surface and drown them, or 3, the ocean, like it's doing now, is coming in with debris, lots of seaweed, sargassum, and heaven knows what, and pile all of that on top of the nest. And even if the hatchlings, the eggs hatch and the hatchlings emerge, they can't get to the surface below all of that. Yeah.
It's like a murder-suicide mission.
It's tough. It takes 1,000 eggs to produce 1 adult leatherback turtle.
Wait, I don't understand. Say that again. I need 1,000 eggs for 1 turtle?
Yep. Okay, it will take the hatch. It takes 60 days for the eggs to hatch, 25 years thereabout for the hatchling to reach reproductive age. But through that journey,
No, you mentioned I need 100
eggs.
So 100 eggs equals
No,
one
no, no,
turtle?
100, 1,000.
1,000 eggs would produce one turtle?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah. So that tells you how important the work we do is, just to,
Extremely.
yeah. That's why all sea turtles are classified as endangered species. The leatherbacks and the hawksbill in particular are critically endangered. So for the leatherback, one of the critical functions that we perform during our night patrol is to take the eggs. As she's laying them, she goes into a trance, and we take the eggs and we relocate them to the hatchery. We do like she does. We dig 70 centimeters. We go into a trance. No, we don't.
No. Nice one. I like that.
But we do like she does, and we bury the eggs, compact the nest, the sand, and monitor everything 60 days. We wait 60 days. And if the hatchlings are supposed to emerge 70 days, we give the hatchlings time to emerge on their own. If they don't, after 70 days, we excavate the nest. If they do, following the emergence, we go and excavate the nest, pull out all the contents, analyze the contents so we can assess how successful the hatch process was.
And then, okay, so two things. One, so mother in trance, you remove her hatchlings,
The eggs.
her eggs.
Mhm.
What stress do you feel the mother is under? Isn't that a very stressful experience for the turtle?
No, I told you, she's in a trance.
I mean, after the trance, after that experience, could you imagine? Because I want to imagine, giving birth. After giving birth, I cannot find
and
my
just
children.
take your, you just take
my
your
child
baby.
is just
You just take
gone.
your baby.
So I'm assuming it places some level of stress on the turtle. No?
No, I'll tell you what. The turtle lays. It takes her 2.5 hours to complete the nesting process. Okay?
It's a long time.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and she lays on average 100 eggs, and she does that multiple times during the nesting season in 10-day intervals. Okay, but when she's through that process, and it's a process, she starts by coming up. She prepares the site, takes the chamber, goes into the trance, lays the eggs, cover the nest, compact it, and then she's going to camouflage the site. 2.5 hours if everything goes right. All right, and if things don't go right, and they sometimes do, that can take three hours or whatever. But when she's through and she goes back to the ocean, hey, bye-bye. That's the end of parental responsibility.
Oh, she doesn't check them after?
No, ma'am.
That's crazy. She needs to be written to. That's wild.
So it's up to us. That's our responsibility. We are the midwives.
Because I'm thinking the lady lost her little ones and she's all stressed out. Oh, that's some of abandonment, no?
No.
But that's the process.
Yeah,
That's the
they're
process.
amazing creatures. It's part of
Circle of
nature, yeah. And the hatchlings are programmed. They know when they hatch to come up to the surface, and they find their way down to the ocean. They're light sensitive, okay? And incidentally, that initial crawl from the nest on
I
the
am
beach.
desperate to see that. I've been trying to coordinate my schedule with you so I can see a hatching, or at least what do you call it, the hatching, right?
Okay, I'll get to you on that.
Yes,
but let me
yes,
just
yes.
finish
Yes,
that
please,
thought.
please, sorry.
Okay, that hatchling crawls down to the beach. Guess what? That crawl stays imprinted in the memory of the hatchling, and she knows if she survives those 25 years, all right, she'll come back to that beach as a Siberian to lay her eggs. Okay. So I often said to my guests, let the hatchling take a good look at you, so you can come back 25 years and see she'll.
If she remembers your face, right?
Okay, so they were amazing creatures. But to get to you with your desire to experience hatchling release thing, here's your chance. Saturday, 4 p.m. We had a nest that emerged last night, and I'm going to save her until Saturday. So open invitation to you. Bring your family, bring all of Discover Dominica. Um,
Saturday at 4 p.m. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind and I'll speak to you about it privately.
No
but
problem.
for people who are interested in viewing it, because I'm assuming listeners out there, that is a wonderful experience to have. If somebody is listening out there and they're interested in viewing this process, how can they reach out to you?
Oh, like I say, we have a turtle chat. We post that on WhatsApp, and people are listening now. They hear it. Friends spread the word around.
But is there a number, because they may not have access to the chat?
Oh.
So is there a number that they can reach out to you or someone on your team?
I'll give that to you at the end of the program. Before I leave, I'll have everything for you.
Okay.
But they can just come to Rosalie Bay. They can walk through the resort, or they can come through the nature trail. Okay, that is in itself is an experience.
I think I may enjoy the camping and then the following day to actually experience the hatchling. I think
No
that
problem.
might be
No
a
problem.
great experience to have.
It will be a pleasure to have you with us on the beach. I can tell you that.
Not sure about my survival rate, but yeah. Okay, so what are some of the biggest threats sea turtles face today, especially in our region?
Great question. They face multiple natural threats. And as all living organisms, you're most vulnerable during the early phases of your life cycle. So for the sea turtles, it's at the egg phase, all right? And as I said to you, you run the risk of the ocean washing away the entire clutch. But besides that, you have natural predators. We used to have dogs that would come and dig up the nest. And that's one of the main reasons why we started the hatchery program. Fortunately, that's no longer a threat. But you have bacteria. You know the story, one bad apple spoil the whole bunch. That applies to a clutch of eggs in a nest. One egg goes bad and poops, the whole clutch disappears. So then that's just at the eggs at the nest and buried below the surface. Okay, say 30, 20, 50, whatever percentage hatch, those hatchlings have to get to the surface. Not everybody's going to make it. They've got to crawl down from the nest down to the beach. Well, you've got crabs, you've got opossums, and you've got birds, all of that. Then they've got to enter the ocean. And if they make it into the ocean, you've got a whole host of fishes waiting to ambush them. So here we go, all right?
The chances of survival
Yeah, but if they make it to adulthood, it's pretty cool. Very few predators. But it is human threats or human actions, direct and indirect, that really pose the biggest challenge. Direct, people just come and poach the eggs and poach the turtles for meat. But indirectly, the commercial fishing industry is a major threat. The turtles are reptiles. They've got to come to the surface to breathe. So a turtle gets trapped in a fishing net, can't come up to breathe and drown. All right? So besides that, you've got pollution, plastic. Leatherbacks feed on jellyfish. A plastic bag in the ocean filled with water looks like a jellyfish. They gobble that, and that, interferes with the digestive system, choke them. Yeah, oil spills. It's all actions. Don't talk about loss of habitat, feeding habitats, nesting habitats, coastal development, lights, walls. You have jet skis and fishing boats that would collide with the turtles and damage the carapace. So you name it, all right? When you add it up, 1,000 eggs to give you one adult. It's a tough journey.
So that's okay. So that was your reference, 1,000 to 1.
Yeah, from egg to adulthood. When you go through the range of threats, natural and human-induced, that they have to.
Okay, hence that expression.
Yeah.
But on average, the turtle will lay about approximately 100 eggs.
For the leatherbacks.
The leatherbacks.
The greens will lay anywhere between 100 and 150. The hawksbill will lay anywhere between 150 and 200 eggs. And they do that multiple times during the season. For us, the record for a leatherback laying for one season 9 times.
Oh,
So that's almost 1,000 eggs for
that's
one turtle.
commendable. So what are the volunteer support that you've been receiving? What is that like?
Oh, yeah. Valuable from our community, and that's part of the thing. We do a lot
Good.
of community education, particularly with the schools, and we're very proud of for the help we get from the schools and the community. On the trail, just maintaining the ecosystem. They help us to clean the beach. And like I said, we have volunteers that come with us on night patrols. People make contributions financially. We had help from the Jeff Small Grants that help us put up a community tourism center.
Good.
So it adds up, and the guests just coming and participating in a turtle tour, sharing the experience and make a contribution, that goes a long way to help us do what we do.
Then I must commend you on the hard work that you've been playing in the conservation of the turtles in Dominica. You and your team. Kudos. Great job.
Yeah.
But we don't have much time for discussion. I will invite you again on Talking Tourism. This is a very important discussion. But please inform, if you could leave us with one message about turtles and why they matter, what would that be?
Well, turtles are also classified as keystone species. Yeah, that's a scientific term, but what that means is they maintain balance in the marine ecosystem. The leatherbacks, like I said, feed on jellyfish. Jellyfish eat fish. So the leatherbacks control the jellyfish population. If we lose the leatherback and jellyfish population explodes, don't go in the restaurant ordering fish.
We ain't got no fish.
Right. Okay, so, but for us, it's a real privilege and I think a blessing that we have 3 species of endangered sea turtles nesting on our beaches. And that's a valuable product for our tourism sector. And it complements the work that we do with the whales and help us in our efforts to market Dominica as the nature isle of the world. And we, the people of Dominica, as stewards of the earth, preserving those endangered species for future generations and the rest of the world. So it's a valuable tourism asset. So I want to thank you for bringing us here
I will
today.
plug in. You are a valuable tourism asset. Thank you.
Thank you, but I'm not alone. So I would like to say thanks to everybody, the Domsetco and White Cast and the community and the people, Rosalie Bay, everybody.
Yes.
So it's a community
Thank
effort.
you,
It's
team.
a world effort.
Great job.
Thank you.
And you've just heard from Simon George, had this quick discussion on turtle conservation in Dominica. Lots going on in the Rosalie Bay area. Simon, we didn't get your information, but we want that before you leave. I know there are lots of people listening right now who would love to come and experience a hatching, and we need your number. I do have one for you. If you allow me to, I can give away that one. Is that okay? Oh, you've got it?
Brochure for you.
Okay, great.
All our information on this, so you can just email and WhatsApp telephone number. So Judy is the administrator. Me and my telephone, we were always at war. We were in court. So it's better to contact Judy.
Okay. So, guys, the numbers to call 617-2604. Again, 617-2604 or 613-6049. Again, the second number, 613-6049. Reach out to them if you want to support any of the conservation efforts, if you want to be a patrol officer, if you want to be part of the tourist experience. You know, you want to be there for a night, camp over with them, check out the hatching the following morning. Have that experience. It's a great one. Ayo, we talk about that. We need to Do some creative things, Ayo. Yeah. But thank you so much, Simon. And saying good morning to 16. My taxi driver is always listening to Talking Tourism. Good morning to you, and good morning to all those who are always tuned in to Talking Tourism. Right now, we're switching gears. We're going to talk to Ayodele Andrew. She's a festival and events manager of Discover Dominica Authority. And we're going to be discussing an event called Tradi Tour. And the Tradi Tour is taking place next week. Exciting event. Ayodele Andrew, good morning. Welcome to the studios of DBS Radio. How are you doing?
Good morning, Monel, and good morning to the listeners of DBS Radio. It's a beautiful Wednesday.
And imagine we're just talking about turtles and then, turtle-looking kind of shirt color,
Yes.
matching perfectly.
Something happened in the cosmos. There was
Yes.
a message, yeah.
And you received it well.
Yes.
So, Ayo, for those hearing about the Tradi Tour for the first time, what is it about?
Well, I'm just going to follow on from Simon, because this is all related to the marine environment as well. So, Tradi Tour is a maritime event. It's a sailing regatta hosted in Guadeloupe annually. It is one of the biggest sailing, traditional sailing. So, it's actually, think like the Kalinago Boafuye canoe. With just the sail, but those are bigger. They're 16 feet long by about 5 feet wide, with a main sail and what we call in sailing a jib, which is the smaller sail, which is in the front of the boat. So Tradi Tour hosted in Guadeloupe annually, and it's a circumnavigate of Guadeloupe that they do. It is produced by the Sailing Association of Setan in Guadeloupe, and it is supported by La Région Guadeloupe, which is the Guadeloupe the government office for Guadeloupe. And they connected with Dominica, and through conversations, they decided that they would love to engage instead of only circumnavigating Guadeloupe. What
you
if we
mentioned the word pause, circumnavigate in layman's terms.
Oh, so to go around the island by sea.
Okay,
To go around by sea. And so they said, okay, let's start in Dominica. So we've had several conversations. Actually, I just returned from Guadeloupe yesterday.
Bienvenue.
Merci, madame.
No problem.
So the race actually will start from Portsmouth, Purple Turtle Beach. So I'm just going to do a go through the activity schedule.
Yes.
So the vessels will be coming into Portsmouth on July 2nd and July 3rd via barge. The vessels will be coming in, and on Wednesday, July 3rd, the crews are coming in, and there are 39 teams taking part in this sailing regatta, and each team has approximately 8 to 10 persons. There are actually 7 all-female teams and 5 teams which mixed male and female. And I sound extra excited because I'm a sailor, so this is special to me as well. And so all the teams will be descending on Dominica. We expect to have 400 persons in race crews coming into Portsmouth and doing a test. They'll be taking over Purple Turtle to prepare. And what the most interesting thing I think for people would be on Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, July 3rd. I'm getting my days mixed up. On Thursday, July 3rd, there will be an exhibition race in the bay.
So and that is open to the general public?
Yes.
Okay.
It's open to the general public. And so that will give people an opportunity to see what the regatta actually looks like. So there will be a race a race track, I would say underwater.
That is exciting.
And the boats will race in the Prince Rupert's Bay, and so it will be an exhibition race for an opportunity for
what
people
time?
From 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Okay, guys. So
But-
next week, Thursday, 3 p.m., you're going to tell your boss you're working in the Ministry of Tourism. You're supporting the industry because you need to come down to the Purple Turtle Beach to witness that race at the harbor. It's going to be very exciting. 400 strong, exciting times. Ayo.
Yeah, so but you can come for the day because we're setting up what we're calling the Traditor Village.
Oh.
And yes, there'll be a Traditor Village. So there'll be a stage, stage set up where for entertainment. There'll be cultural entertainment by cultural groups, local music, DJs. We have vendors who we'll have local crafts on sale, and local foods, and it's a full Dominican experience on the beach. So we are welcoming the teams from Guadeloupe, the race teams, to have that Dominican experience while they are there, and then they are showcasing to us, the racing. And the key thing about that it is traditional racing. So the boats are built they're all wooden boats.
Oh.
Yes, so they're all traditional boats, and the sailing style is all traditional. It's all wind power. Yes, so no motor, all wind powered sailing, and that sailing like that is really it really builds bonds because each person has a role to play. And your team has to be in sync, so it's good for building relationships, and that is part of the reason why we are working with Traditor, that we are taking the sail together in terms of building that relationship, because sailing a vessel, wind powered vessel together, everybody has a role to play for it to function well, so it don't capsize. And this is what the Ministry of Tourism, DDA, and the group Lanasa and Guadeloupe, that's what we're doing. We're building this relationship together, and everybody's playing their role to ensure that we not only have a spectacular event, but we look at the cultural exchange part of it. And Guadeloupe and Dominica, we're neighbors. When you're in the north, it seems like just a stone's throw away.
Yes.
And we share more than just being in the Caribbean waters, but we have a similar cultural background, the Creole food, music, and the language as well, and our heritage. So as part of the program, we will also have the Kalinago, so there will be a blessing before the race, so which will include a priest, a Kalinago shaman, and a Hindu priest who will be coming over with them as well.
So if the prayer for the wind did not work, then but
Yes,
I love the fact that we're blending so many different cultures together. People, of course, are from different denominations, so bringing in, Kalinago, then the local, and then, of course, somebody from Guadeloupe kind of makes everybody feel comfortable before the race starts. So that's amazing. Anything else worthy of sharing about the tour?
Yes, I do want to highlight a number of persons who have really taken this on. In Portsmouth, the mayor of Portsmouth, Kerry Beauty Prince, she is really at the forefront. The Pays Yachting Association, Cobra, and the community of Portsmouth to support the event. It's been hosted on the Purple Turtle Beach. You'll be hard pressed to find a grain of sand to look, because the beach will be completely filled with boats, tents, and people, and the DDA team. Our CEO, Miss Marva Williams, and I think that we can work to eventually I would say no, we should. Next year we should have a team from Dominica participating in the Traditor
They would
race.
need to build their
Yes.
wooden boats.
Of course,
I
but
think that's ample time from
we
this year to
have
next.
we have the original seafarers of the Caribbean, who are the Kalinago people. So I think, and the and they were not only circumnavigating the islands, they went through the archipelago of islands in the Caribbean. So I believe that we are at an advantage to be able to do that. So I think it's an introduction. There are many people in Dominica who are interested in water sports. So I think it's an opportunity, especially for young people. One of the teams who was presented in Guadeloupe when I was there on Sunday, they had the presentation of the teams. There were boys, as young as 12, 8, 9, 10 years
and they're
old.
participating?
Yes, and will be
Aw.
sailing from Dominica to Guadeloupe and going across the channel.
Oh, wow.
So I think, and the younger that you're introduced, Simon can say, even for the program that they're doing with the school, the younger that you are introduced, then the easier it is. So I think there's many opportunities for us to explore, even for businesses. I also want to commend Digicel and Intercontinental, who have partners with us also for hosting the event. Digicel in providing technical support that we need. With so many people in the place, we need to ensure we have very good internet service.
Stable.
And Intercontinental is coming on in a big way by hosting all of the crews for lunch at Intercontinental.
Beautiful.
and also for accommodation. And that's the most essential thing about everything that we do with this event. It's all about building partnerships and relationships. So it's more than just, a sailing regatta and a race. It's about the relationships that we're building. So I really want to invite people to come, even if you know nothing at all about sailing, and you don't, just come and have the experience. And who knows, you may be interested. I'm looking to do an all-female team for next year. So if anybody is interested, we have time to train.
Yeah, that's yeah. That'll be beautiful. I'll be taking pictures from the shore.
Oh, Monel, I'm sure that you can. Sailing is.
It's a beautiful sport for those who love it. I love just going on a yacht, taking some pictures, short distances, nice little thing. But just the whole. Yeah. Many are called and few are chosen. I am not called. My phone is not working for that venture, so I cannot respond favorably. So it's difficult.
Okay. Well, if you're an adrenaline junkie, if you love nature, if you love the sea,
Yes.
yes, if you love the thrill and that little, a little bit of
But
danger,
I do encourage a lot of persons who are listening, females in particular, reach out to Iodeli. This is a great venture. I support it, but I understand my position in life and I'm going to stick to it. So there's that. But I think it is a beautiful venture. Ministry of Tourism, Discover Dominica Authority, in collaboration with PAYS, the Mayor of Portsmouth, and the beautiful people and stakeholders throughout the community. Beautiful event. Again, on Wednesday, they come in. On Thursday, that's when we're having the event. So on Thursday, we will have this cultural showcase from the morning, and then the tour, or rather display, starts at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So you're encouraged, if you're in the north, like I mentioned earlier, tell your boss you have to support the tourism industry and head to Portsmouth. Let's have a wonderful afternoon. There'll be food, there'll be drinks, there's entertainment. Yes, it's a Thursday, Friday.
yeah, and
Leave it up to God.
Friday.
And on Friday, what happens on Friday?
On Friday, the race actually takes off. Friday
There we go.
morning at 9:30. So, if you come to Portsmouth Thursday night, spend the night, early morning, make your way down to Purple Turtle and see the teams as they sail off. And their first stop would be at Terre-Haute in Les Saints, and then on to Guadeloupe.
So, guys, that's the adventure for this weekend. The end of the week, we're heading to Portsmouth. We're spending a night, Thursday night in Portsmouth. There are lots of accommodations in the north, so, there's no issue with where to stay. carpool, make a friend. You'll meet some wonderful people. And the beauty is, even if they're coming from Guadeloupe, lots of them speak English. So yes, the cultural exchange, the communication will be seamless because the people will be able to understand what you're saying.
And you can practice your Creole and your French.
C'est ça.
Mon
Oui,
elle.
oui, bien sûr. So I'm encouraging everyone to come up north. Remember, we're there from Thursday into Friday. Come for the experience, stay for the culture and the adventure. This is a great product, Traditor. Ayodele, any final words? But before your final words, pray tell, where can people find more information about Traditor?
So we have on our social media pages, so Dominica Festivals on Facebook and on Instagram, and Discover Dominica as well, Tourism Dominica page on social media. We will be sharing a lot more information over the next few days, and you can always call us at DDA if you want to get involved. I would say, join us and welcome the cruise from Guadeloupe to Dominica, and come and have an experience. You never know, it may change your life. You may decide to become a sailor.
Okay, so this is great, and Ayodele, thank you so much. You have been doing a wonderful job as festival and events manager at Discover Dominica Authority. I have to give you your flowers while you're alive, publicly, even if I do it privately. You're doing a wonderful job, and keep up the awesome
Merci beaucoup,
work.
madame.
We appreciate you. All right, so we've heard of two different interesting conversations, one on Traditor taking place next week, Wednesday into Friday. Earlier we heard about turtle conservation, but did y'all know that Simon is also an artist? I didn't know either. And Simon is going to play an instrument for us this morning. Simon, before you begin, for the people who are listening right now and they don't know what is the name of that instrument in your hand, what is this?
This is the ukulele.
Ukulele.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think it got famous in Hawaii.
Oh, that's the one that it.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But I really like that little instrument. I play the guitar. That's my favorite instrument. But that little thing is easy to carry. I bring it here.
Okay, so let's play a tune for all the turtle lovers out there and for all the folks who are coming to Traditor's event next week. Again, we start at 3 p.m. on a Thursday with the adventure, the fun race, and before that, there's a cultural exchange. So come to Portsmouth about 9-10 a.m. on Thursday. And of course, if you want to see who's coming in, then come to Portsmouth on Wednesday. Remember, they leave on Friday. And Turtle Conservation, that's with Simon. And again, one more time before Simon takes it away with the music, the numbers to call if you want to support the Turtle Conservation Mission in Dominica: 617-2604, 613-6049. Simon, I'm going to close my mouth and you're going to move your fingers. Yes?
All right. I'll just do this little thing for everybody.
Yeah.
It won't get me in trouble. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and trees of green, bright-breasted day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world.
You can back us up, you know. Come on, Aya.
The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are always on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're only saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself.
Stop. Flashlight. Hold on.
What a wonderful world. Thank you.
Now, I will say that earlier today I was a bit down, and then you really lifted my spirit. So I'm happy God sent you to me today. Thank you very much, Simon. Much appreciated. Mood adjusted. Well done.
Pleasure.
And I'm
All
certain
mine.
that the
Thank
listeners
you
out
so
there
much.
enjoyed this beautiful rendition and the support from Ayo Deli. You know,
Good,
you sound like you
yeah.
went to church for a long time. Church girls can sing, you know, Ayo. You must be one of them. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mother. It's been a real pleasure.
Most welcome. Thank you very much for coming through, you and Ayo Deli. All right, guys, so it's time that I shut down for this Wednesday's Talking Tourism. It has been my pleasure being in your company, and I'm saying thank you very much for spending time with us this morning. If you're in Dominica for the first time, welcome to the nature island of the world. Remember, while you're here, respect yourself, respect our people, and respect the environment. And do ensure that you have a fantastic time. My name is Monel Alexis, and I am reminding you to remember to choose happiness. Be happy. Until next Wednesday, take care now. Yes?